Hello everyone. This video is on the topic surgical disc repositioning in disc derangement disorders. We will be discussing a few aspects of surgical disc repositioning procedures, like should it be the first line of treatment in disc derangement disorders? When can it be done? When can it not be done? When it cannot be done? What is the reason it cannot be done? And what are the alternative options? You know that the disc derangement disorders are characterized by positioning of the disc away from its normal position inside the temporomandibular joint. They can be divided into disc displacements, disc dislocation with reduction, and disc dislocation without reduction. The source of pain and discomfort in these disc derangement disorders is actually the condyle functioning on the retrodiscal tissues that are rich in nerve and blood supply, and hence very susceptible to pain and inflammation. A logical thought would follow that if we reposition the condyle over its correct position of the disc, then the treatment should be done, and hence surgical repositioning of the disc should solve the patient's problem. Isn't it correct? The answer is both yes and no. Let us understand it this way. While a temporary repositioning of the condyle over its correct position over the disc so that the retrodiscal tissues are offloaded will help in symptom resolution in disc dislocations with reductions and without reductions, a permanent repositioning of condyle over the disc surgically is not such a good option. The key lies in understanding the fact that the disc derangement disorders start only when the disc anatomy is lost. All of us know that the disc has a self-positioning anatomy. It has an hourglass shaped structure that fits well between the condylar head and the articular fossa. Once the anatomy is lost, the disc starts getting deranged under the constant anteromedial pull of the superior lateral pterygoid muscle. So if the disc has got deranged, then its anatomy must have been lost, and hence the disc must have lost its self-positioning feature. Even if you go ahead and do a surgical reduction over the disc over its normal position and tie down the disc over the condyle, the disc will not have a capacity to maintain its own position because its anatomy, its self-positioning feature is already lost. Furthermore, disc derangement disorders are accompanied by elongation of the ligaments that attach the disc to the condylar head and to the bony structures around. A lengthening of the ligaments allows the disc to move more freely, and if you reposition the disc over the condyle surgically, still it will be more free to move around and would get displaced and dislocated again and again. So surgical repositioning of the disc in disc derangement disorder isn't a good choice as first line of treatment, especially considering the associated risk factors like hemarthrosis that lead to fibrosis in the joint, development of adhesions and adherences, and degenerative joint diseases. It should be the treatment option only in those cases that do not respond to conservative methods of treatment. Conservative method of treatment of this dislocation with reduction involves use of a repositioning appliance. A repositioning appliance repositions the condyle over its correct position over the articular disc. This offloads the retrodiscal tissues that are rich in blood vessels and nerve supply. It helps the retrodiscal tissues that are inflamed to heal overnight when the patient wears the appliance. During the daytime, the retrodiscal tissues that are adapting take the functional load slowly and adapt into a new pseudodisc, which helps the patient take all the functional loads after the treatment is over. The repositioning appliance is usually replaced with a permissive appliance after 1 to 2 weeks, and the patient needs to wear the permissive appliance for 1 to 3 months for the adaptation to be complete. This works well in 99.999% of the patients, and you do not have to do any surgical intervention in intracapsular disorders like disc dislocation with reductions. Even in disc dislocation without reductions, a permissive appliance that distributes the force evenly, reduces the overall loading of the temporomandibular joint, and erases any hit and slide occlusion, and also controls parafunction, works well to do the treatment alone. It would be rare that you would need a disc repositioning surgery in any of these intracapsular disorders. Only when the conservative methods of treatment fail can you think of taking up disc repositioning surgeries. But there are ifs and buts to it. A disc repositioning surgery will work well only when the anatomy of the disc is intact and the ligaments have not lengthened a lot. So if your MRI says that the disc anatomy is still intact, the ligaments are still intact, the patient is young, and the history of disc dislocation or disc displacement is very short, and the conservative treatments have failed, you can consider repositioning the disc surgically. But remember, you will still have to institute appliance therapy in this patient and maybe for a longer period of time. If the MRI says that the disc has completely degenerated or has lost its anatomy quite a bit, if the ligaments have lengthened, if the patient is old, and if there are other contributing factors, then the surgical repositioning of disc won't be a good treatment option for your patient. In a nutshell, surgical repositioning of the disc should not be the first treatment of choice in disc derangement disorders. Orthotic appliances and conservative methods such as physical self-regulation should be the first line of treatment in all the disc derangement disorders. Only when the conservative treatments fail, you can consider surgical repositioning of the disc, that too in patients who are young, have an intact disc anatomy, have intact ligaments, and in whom conservative treatments have failed. In patients where the disc anatomy is lost, where the ligaments have lengthened, who are old age and who have other contributing factors like parafunction or occlusal instabilities, should not be the candidates to go for surgical repositioning of the disc. Thank you.